Hi, I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation and welcome to the Hive. In this video, we'll be taking a look at this TP-Link Kasa Smart Wi-Fi LED bulb. As always, we'll take a look around the outside of the box, we'll take a look at what's inside the box, and we'll explore the native app, and then we'll see how well it worked with Home Assistant. So while I roll the intro, why don't you take a moment to subscribe, and if you hit the bell icon, you'll get notified when I release new videos each week. While you're at it, if you like what I do here and you want to support the channel, there's affiliate links in the video description to a bunch of home automation gadgets that I've reviewed in the past, and other ways to support the channel as well, such as signing up for NordVPN using my affiliate link, or supporting the channel directly through my Buy Me a Coffee link. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. So a couple of weeks ago, just before Christmas, I was in Big W and I thought I'll take a look at their smart home gear. And while, to be fair, I wasn't particularly impressed with their selection, one thing did stand out, and it was this TP-Link Kasa Smart light bulb that I picked up for $19.95 from Big W. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I am quite a fan of the TP-Link smart switches and smart power strip. So I've been wanting to give one of their light bulbs a go for quite some time. It's not an RGB bulb, but at $19.95, one of the main reasons that I wanted to get it will become apparent as we take a closer look at the outside of the box. So let's do that now. Now, on the front of the box, we've got the branding, we've got some information about a 3-year warranty and some phone numbers that we can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is a smart Wi-Fi LED bulb with dimmable soft white light, and the model number is LB100. It works with any Wi-Fi router, and it is a 50-watt equivalent. It works with the Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa, and we've got a serving suggestion here saying light your way anywhere. And kind of hidden away in the bottom right hand corner, it shows that there's a brightness rating of 600 lumens. On the right hand side, we've got some EU energy ratings here with an A+ score of 7 kilowatt hours per 1,000 hours. That, if my calculations are correct, makes this a 7-watt bulb. It works with any Wi-Fi router, dimming options, remote access, and energy saving, and we've got some translations. Again, another serving suggestion in a lamp this time, model number LB100 in the bottom right, got there. On the back, we've got complete home lighting control from anywhere, adjust brightness from your phone, track energy consumption, and this track energy consumption is one of the things that made me instantly go, I must have this bulb. I'm interested to see whether this is actually a thing or if it's just making some estimates based on what the settings are. We can also set schedules and timers to have lights turn on or off automatically. Works with any Wi-Fi router, dimming option, remote access, and energy saving, and that is the same as what's on this right side here as well. We've got a bit of an outline of what the app looks like, an outline of what the device itself looks like, and it says that the Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant are not available in all languages and all countries. And on the left hand side, we've got easy setup. Step 1, download Kasa for mobile. I've already got that because I've got other devices. Step 2, screw in the smart Wi-Fi LED bulb like any other light bulb. Step 3, configure smart Wi-Fi LED bulb preferences in the Kasa app. And we've got some other accessories. So we've got the Wi-Fi LED bulb, smart Wi-Fi camera, plug, and sensor. And it says learn more about smart home products online and a link to their webpage. And again, the model number LB100. Lastly, on the bottom, and it might be a bit difficult to read some of the fine print here, we have the form factor, which we've got A19 bulb, E27 fitting, Wi-Fi IEEE 802.11n at 2.4 gigahertz, The voltage rating is 220 to 240 volts at 50 to 60 hertz. Wattage is 7 watts, so my calculations before were correct. And we've got a color temperature range of 2700 K. Now that means that it is going to be locked to that 2700 K color temperature, which I'm not super happy about, but it is what it is. And we've got a color rendering index of greater than 80, and there's some small print here about the specifications being subject to change. Over here we've got what's in the box, so we've got the LED bulb LB100 ×1 and a quick start guide, and we've got some system requirements: the mobile device running iOS 9 or higher, or Android 4.1 or higher, an existing Wi-Fi network, and it's compatible with regular light switch, do not use with dimmers. It also says that the increased weight may reduce the mechanical stability of certain luminaires and lamp holders and may impair contact making and lamp retention. So that's kind of interesting. It seems to be a little bit heavier than a regular bulb apparently. One thing I will note here on the bottom that is quite handy is that we've got the MAC address of the device printed here and in a barcode form. So if we wanted to do a static IP reservation with our DHCP, we could do that quite simply because we've got the details and we wouldn't even need to take it out of the box before doing that. So that's kind of handy. All right, so having now looked around the outside of the box, let's take the unit out of the box, and I've pre-cut the bottom, the shrink wrap on the bottom, and that's simply because it was pretty dirty from sitting on the shelf, I'm assuming, for quite a long time. And I will, at the back edge of the top of the box here, just pull out the tab, if I can get it. I've had to tear the box a little bit. There we go, got the tab out, and there's a little warranty card that I've just found there. We'll slide the box off, and okay, so on the top of the box here, so at the front of the box, we've got a little kind of card fold thing, which has in here a quick start guide for smart Wi-Fi LED bulbs. It has the operating frequency and max output, so it's got some wireless certification details here. And some frequently asked questions. And then in the box, we've got the device itself. I feel like it's probably a lot of packaging for a light bulb. I've seen a lot less packaging on some of the more expensive light bulbs. I do believe that this light bulb has been discontinued. The replacement, the TP-Link Tarpo lights, I think have a lot less packaging. So I'll get the unit out and I'll put that box aside, and we've got a little sleeve around it, and we've got the unit itself. Now, there's not a whole lot to say about the design. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but this white plastic section here is kind of a faceted design, which is kind of interesting. And we've got that it is a TP-Link here and some specs around the base here as well. The build quality feels really nice. It is TP-Link, so they know what they are doing. The plastic dome feels pretty solid. There's a decent amount of weight to it, so I would say that it is a very good build quality. Again, because it is a light bulb, there's not a lot really to comment on in terms of the design. It's a light bulb. So what we'll do is we'll hook it up to a light fitting and see how it looks in the native app. Before we do that though, from the 11th to the 13th of March 2023, I'll be at the Train and Hobby Show at Sandown Racecourse and Entertainment Centre in Melbourne's southeast. The Train and Hobby Show showcases Australia's best hobbies from model railways, ham radio and electronics, radio-controlled models, makers and arts and crafts. And this year, for the very first time, the Train and Hobby Show is adding computing and home automation into the mix. I'll be at the Train and Hobby Show for all 3 days. I'll be demonstrating some gadgets like light bulbs and smart switches. I'll have some basic automations set up to showcase how you can automate your home. And I'll have some Raspberry Pis, and I'll be showing off some of my Grafana dashboards for energy and environmental monitoring that I've already got in place here. So if you're in Melbourne from the 11th to the 13th of March 2023, come on down to Sandown Racecourse and say hello. Get your tickets today at trainandhobbyshow.com.au. That's trainandhobbyshow.com.au. And now, back to the light bulb. Okay, so I've installed the light bulb into the light fitting on my set wall over here, and I'm going to turn the power on. And it's come on, and that is the 2700K. It's a fairly warm light, and now it's just started flashing, and I'm assuming that means that it wants to pair, or it's not paired yet. So we'll get onto that in a moment, but the quality of the light is quite nice. It's a decent warm white light. So let's get this light bulb paired with the Kasa Smart app. Over on my iPhone here, I'm going to open up the Kasa app, and I'm going to tap the plus button in the top right hand corner, and we're adding a device. It's saying that it needs local permission, so I'm going to go to the settings, and it looks like it should have all the permission it needs, so I'll pop back and go to, I've already given local network permission. I'm going to choose in here smart lights, and I'm going to tap OK. I'm going to tap smart lights again, and we see smart bulb, the LB100 series, which is exactly what we've got. So I'll tap on LB100 series, and it says first make sure the power is off on the light you're replacing. Swap the current bulb with your smart bulb. We've already done that. I'll tap next. Power on the light, wait about 5 seconds until it blinks 3 times. We saw it do that, so I'll tap next again. Now it's saying go to the phone settings and join the smart bulb's Wi-Fi network, and then return to Kasa to continue the setup. So I will go to the Wi-Fi network here, and we see TP-Link smart bulb AAD7. I'm going to tap that one there, and we'll go back out here. So I'll go, I'm already connected, and it's connecting to the smart bulb, and it might take a few minutes to establish the connection. So now it's asking me to choose a network. I want to connect this to HiveMind IoT, and I'm going to pop in the password for that network, and I'll tap join. Now it might take a few minutes to establish the connection, and it's trying to connect it to the home network. It's just started pulsing, which I think means that it is connecting to the home network. And now it's asking us to give it a name. I'm going to just call this TP-Link ES27 bulb. And that's just purely so that I know what it is. I can change the name of this later if I need to. I'll just tap next, and I'll leave the icon the same, but you can choose any number of icons here, like some different lamps, etc. So I'll just leave it at the standard one, and we'll tap save. Location, I'll put in a custom one, and I'll just call it, let's make it study, and I'll tap save. And it says you've configured your smart bulb and it's ready for use in your device list. I'll tap sounds good. Now it says that there's new firmware available, and it'll take a few minutes so that we can ensure the best Kasa experience. I'll tap update now, and we'll let that update run. It should take a minute or two. Okay, so we've got update complete. Your smart lighting is up to date. It might take a few minutes for your device to restart. I'll tap done, and we're back in our menu here showing us all devices, and we've got TP-Link ES27 bulb in the study, and it's set to 100%. If I tap that, we get a couple of options there, and if I tap in, we get introducing shortcuts. With shortcuts, you can quickly apply your favorite presets, and we can edit shortcuts. I'll just get started, and it looks like there's already some shortcuts defined: 100%, 75%, 25%, and 1%. So we've got those shortcuts defined there. The 100 and the 75 actually don't seem that different. 25 is very different though, but that's interesting to see. So 100%, we've just really got brightness control here. 1% up to 100%. We've got power and brightness toggles down the bottom here. So power, we can turn it off. It's a nice smooth transition between on and off, but then off to on is a very instant kind of change. There's a little bit of latency I'm noticing with the app as well. It's not a whole heap. It's probably about half a second or so, but it's enough to notice. Looking down the bottom here, we've got some presets. So we can redefine our presets. We can change the brightness value, etc. So I could set that to, I'll set this preset to 50% and we'll back out. And now we've got a preset of 50%, and then we've got recents as well. So we can see some recent settings that we've had there, which is interesting. So if I now tap that, we've got a 50% brightness and back to 100%. We've also got a schedule here, so we can add a schedule to turn off, turn on, or use a preset, so like 50%, 25%, 1%, and we can define a time or at sunrise or sunset for that to happen. Now it's using location data for the sunrise and sunset information, so I would assume that it's going to continue to do that, hopefully in the background, but it's hard to say. I'm going to set this I'm just going to tell it to turn off and at 12:42, which is less than a minute from now. So I've saved that preset, and it's going to repeat every day of the week. So it should turn off any minute now. I'm also going to click on the usage, and this is the bit that I'm interested in. So we've got some energy usage here, and it's showing us a total of kilowatt hours, the number of hours we've been using it, and how much savings we've made in comparison to a 50-watt bulb, and it's just turned itself off, so that schedule has worked. So I'll just turn that back on. I'll head back to the usage tab here. So it's just kind of showing us the total energy usage. It's not showing us the current energy usage in watts or anything like that. So I'm a little bit dubious about whether this is actually measuring the energy consumption, or if it's just making some educated calculations based on the rating of the bulb and then the amount of time that it's on and the value that it's set to. It's hard to say. Perhaps I'll reach out to TP-Link and see whether they can provide any details. So in terms of control, there's not a whole lot going on. It's really just the presets and the power and brightness settings here. There's a cog in the top right corner. I'll tap that. We can see the name and the icon, and we can change the name or icon if we wanted to there. I'll back out. We've got the default states on from app. Your bulb will go to the selected state when turned on from the app. So the last on state, you could go candlelight 100 or candlelight 1%. so any preset. And you've also got on from power source. So this is kind of interesting. So this means power recovery settings. This is quite nice. So you can, if the light bulb loses power, either from someone turning the regular switch off or a regular power outage, you can set that to a specific preset when the power comes back on. So that's quite nice to see, or you can just have it as the last on state, so what it was previously. We've got some advanced device info, so the time zone, the device time, the Wi-Fi network that it's connected to, the model number, the hardware version, the firmware version, and the MAC address. And we've also got the big red remove device button in the bottom. So that's the LB100 in the Kasa Smart app. Let's take a look at adding it into Home Assistant. Now, I've added Kasa Smart accessories to my Home Assistant in the past, and it is super, super easy. If we go to settings in our Home Assistant instance and devices and services, and we can scroll down. Now, we've already got a discovered entity here for TP-Link ES27 bulb LB100. I could also click Add Integration and type in TP-Link Kasa Smart. Click that and it will show me the discovered instance, and I can click that instance and click Submit. And we now choose an area. I will put that into I'll just put that into the laundry for fun. I'll click Finish on that. And now if I refresh my page here and scroll down, we've got TP-Link Kasa Smart. We've got some of our other gadgets. So we've got the dishwasher, we've got the fridge, we've got the washing machine. But what I'm interested in is the TP-Link ES27 bulb. We've got one device and 3 entities. So if I click on one device, we now see that we have the details here of the device, and we actually have current consumption here and today's consumption. So the data is available to us from Home Assistant. Bizarrely though, it's not available to us inside the app itself. So looking at the controls, if I click on the controls here and I can pull the brightness down, let's go to 50%, and the current consumption dropped down to 4.4 watt. Again, it's hard to say whether this is a calculation or if it is basing this off an actual sensor. It's responding really very quickly to any changes in brightness. So it'll be really interesting to get the information about how it's pulling this data from TP-Link themselves. So at 72%, it's pulling 6 watts, and at 100%, it's pulling 8 watts. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think there's that much difference between the two brightnesses. It's very, very slight, if anything. So you can potentially, with this light bulb, save a little bit of energy by underdriving it. Now again, because this is only a warm white bulb, we only have brightness controls. There's nothing additional here, so it's very, very basic in what we can control. So I do want to do a very quick latency test with this light bulb to see what happens here. So I'm going to turn it off and click off and on and on. It's pretty good. The latency is maybe around about the same as what we had from the app. It's about half a second or so. The app itself doesn't seem to be updating when we are triggering the light bulb from Home Assistant though. So it might be struggling to get that information. It did update, it just took a little while. So if I turn it off, and might take a minute here. Yeah, so that took about 20 seconds to figure out that it was turned off. Yeah, so again, 15 to 20 seconds, it seems to figure out that it has been changed by something else, and the app itself updates. I believe that's probably just a polling interval thing from the app itself, but it's interesting to note nonetheless. So that is the TP-Link LB100 Smart Wi-Fi Light Bulb. Looking at pros and cons, in the pros column, we've got the energy monitoring, which I'm really quite surprised that we got far more detail inside Home Assistant than we did in the app itself. While the app is good, it is probably a little bit simple. That said, it does everything that you really need it to straight from the one page. And the Home Assistant integration is really simple. The connection to Home Assistant had decent low latency, so I'm very happy with the connection there. But moving on to cons, this particular unit is the single color temperature, and it has no RGB. It's only the 2700K white color, and also the app took a long time to pick up that we had changed the state using Home Assistant. While this is the only light bulb I've ever seen that has energy monitoring built in, I'm still not 100% convinced that it is worthwhile. If it had a wider color temperature range or RGB, I'd definitely be more inclined to recommend this bulb, but at least in my opinion, I'm not yet convinced that the low latency and super simple Home Assistant integration make up for the lack of features of this bulb. It is still one of the cheaper smart bulbs that I've purchased, but at $20, it's hardly cheap. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Looking at the TP-Link website, it does seem that this particular model has been superseded, and there are bulbs that have RGB and color temperature settings, so I'll be hunting some of those down and ordering them in to do some more tests, though looking at the availability, I might have a hard time. The TP-Link Tarpo lights are readily available from JB Hi-Fi, so maybe we'll take a look at those. That said, the Tarpo integration is a HAX add-on, and it doesn't use the same Kasa Smart add-on. So if you want to see those reviews, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on those videos when they come out. That's all we have for this video, and I do hope that it helped you in your home automation journey. Be sure to comment down below with a home automation idea that you'd like to see me cover in a future video. And don't forget to follow HiveMind Automation on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button down below to give it a like. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing now. And while you're at it, if you hit the bell icon, you'll get a notification when I release new videos each week. Lastly, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to help to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description down below. Any contributions you make through Buy Me a Coffee are put towards making more and hopefully better content for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.